Good morning and welcome to the Offer Accepted Show. My name is Jon Taylor, the host of the Offer Accepted Show, and we have an exciting episode. Missy is back up in Jackson, and if you remember a few weeks ago, actually it was about 6 weeks ago, they placed their house on the foundation in Jackson. The home is a Hardamon Home, and it's a manufactured home that's built in Tennessee and Indiana, and then they ship it up here, and it's all done when they build it. So you're going to be amazed at how far they've gotten from 6 weeks ago until now and how beautiful this home looks. Kris from Fairway Independent Mortgage is going to talk to us about what happens with your mortgage or your home when you're going through a divorce. Now, a lot of us go through this and we don't know where to start. So Kris is going to shed some light on it so that you have all the information that you need so that you can make your best decision if unfortunately you have to go through this. And finally, this may be my favorite part. We are going to meet up with Gar at the Garcade in Menomonee Falls. Now, the Garcade is a retro arcade, and it has all the games that I grew up on. All of the video games and the pinball games. This place was a dream, and I was so excited to head out there. Missy's going to talk with Gar and tell you a little bit about the Garcade. So if you're in Menomonee Falls, you can stop by. It's a great place. Once again, this episode is brought to you by HomeWire Realty. Missy and her team over at HomeWire Realty can get you the home of your dreams, get your offer accepted, and help you develop a team that's going to protect you. So when you are shopping for a home, you have the right people around you in this highly energetic market. So let's get started.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Offer Accepted Show. Today we are back in Jackson, Wisconsin at the new build on Jackson Drive. I want to take you back to where this all started. In February of 2021, we placed our order with Hardamon Homes out of Indiana. That home got built, and it takes them about 2 weeks to build it. They brought it over in August and placed it on our foundation that was already put in place. The home comes on 2 semis. This particular size of home would come in 2 pieces, and it comes with a crane. They bring a crane over, they lift it from the semi, and they place it on the foundation that we had put down ahead of time. Once it's placed, then we have some finishing touches we have to do. It does come with cabinets, bathroom fixtures, windows, doors. It comes with all those items. But then we have to kind of put the puzzle together. And that means putting seams together, drywall, flooring, all those things to put the puzzle together. Fast forward, we're into October and we're finishing it up. We have some siding to do, finishing up the garage door, and the flooring's been done, painting's been done. It's going to be ready for one of you buyers out there very soon. So we placed it about 6 weeks ago, and look at how far along we've come. We have granite countertops. We have luxury vinyl plank flooring. We also have all the cabinets in place, and it does come with the cabinets. We have the windows already. The doors are hung. We have some finishing touches on the garage door and the basement. And we're going to have a great home for one of you buyers to make it their own. Well, the basement, we have to pour the concrete. And a lot of people don't realize this, but they come and do that after the home is placed. They're actually going to put a concrete floor in there, let that set up, and then they'll be able to put the stairwell to the basement. The basement does have an egress window, so this particular model will have an egress ready to go. It won't be finished, but a potential buyer could make a 4th bedroom down there. Right now, this current home is 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,800 square feet on the main level. The master is generously sized. It's about 15 by 14. It has its own bathroom, bathtub, shower, and huge walk-in closet. The other 2 bedrooms are around 12 by 12, and they have their own large closets. And then you have a living area, a dining area, and then a nicely sized kitchen with a pantry. So it does have a very spacious living room and dining room with windows in the front door that goes into a wraparound porch, my favorite part of this particular model. And you can sit at your front porch and overlook the public park next door. It's really a beautiful location near downtown Jackson. Another thing I like to talk about is how well built these homes are. They come in two pieces. They're called modular homes, and a lot of people have a misconception about their quality. But I can tell you the quality is grade A. It's awesome. They're built in a factory inside and out of the weather. As we know in Wisconsin, we can have snow, sleet, rain, all those things. This is taking that factor out of the build process. So what happens is in that controlled environment, we are doing a stick build, just like they would on location, but we're avoiding the expanding and contracting of the wood that it's due to the weather, the rain, the sleet, the snow, and taking that equation out of the build. So you have a better quality home. And as you can see, like I can point out right here, the middle line was right here when it came in two pieces, and you cannot tell. I'm Missy Buttram from HomeWire Realty, and I would love to make this your new home.
Welcome back, and today we're going to talk about divorce. It's kind of a touchy subject, but something that we have to address, because if you have a house, you have a mortgage, and divorce happens, there's some things that you should know, and there's no better person to answer our questions than Kris Wenninger from Fairway Independent Mortgage. Kris, when should I get in touch with my loan officer if I have a divorce in my future, thinking about divorce, just annoyed with my partner? When's the right time?
You want to get in touch with your loan officer right away, because what you want to do is come up with a plan of action, not only for yourself, but in essence for your soon-to-be ex-spouse.
Okay. Sometimes bad things happen, and when a divorce happens, you need to get in touch with your loan officer. You need to get in touch with whoever is holding that mortgage and make sure that you have your team in place and you get everything straight before that happens. So when should I get in touch with a loan officer or my loan officer?
You want to take a look at if there's any thought, we might be parting ways. You want to take a look at get in touch with someone right away. Therefore, you can kind of come up with a plan of action, not only for yourself, but your soon-to-be ex-spouse.
Sure. And what options would I have if we decided to get a divorce?
We want to decide, is one going to keep the house over the other? So if that happens, does the other one who's going to be keeping the home, are they going to have to buy the other one out versus, whatever equity is in that position? Or do you want to take a look at, are you going to completely just sell the house, split the proceeds, and then you each purchase another home or rent?
Right. Can I purchase or refinance before the divorce is finalized?
It's a very good question, very detailed. So I'm going to take the purchase side first. If you're going to purchase a house before the divorce is finalized, and if your name is on the current mortgage that you're in, you need to make sure that you can qualify on both payments. In addition to, when you're going to purchase that house, you're going to purchase that house as a married person. So therefore, you need to be very specific when it comes down to the final decree as far as if your soon-to-be ex-spouse will have any ownership rights in that. And that's where it gets really, really ticky. In essence, if you have kind of a difficult divorce as far as who has rights in what. So you want to be very careful. When it comes to refinancing, same thing too. Whoever's going to keep the house, they're going to have to purchase it or refinance it as a married person. And then you also want to take a look at, will the lender allow, if you already filed, will they allow you to close? Because technically when you file, it's called litigation pending. Are they going to let you close on that? Reason being, are you going to have to pay support? Are you going to have to pay any type of maintenance? Or who's going to pay what by when? As far as if you're keeping the house, are you going to have to pay your soon-to-be ex-spouse any type of monies out of the house?
There's a lot of moving parts. So with all those different scenarios, can you run those different scenarios and kind of give us an outline of what that would look like in the different ways?
Absolutely, because every situation is a little bit different as far as who wants the money, who wants to keep the house. It would be great if the divorce would be finalized. Then you have a final decree as far as who's going to get what. The judge rendered a decision, and then we just have to follow as far as what the decree would say at that time.
Sure. So how can you help me and my spouse, my partner, in making this happen?
when there's two people involved, we want to be a neutral party. We want to give everybody fair and equal justice, as you call it, because it's a tough thing to go through. And therefore, if I was in that position, I would want to have someone give me both as far as being fair in that respect. So what we do is take a look at all the options as far as who's going to keep it, or we just need to sell it, and then in essence you both purchase it on your own. That too, if you're purchasing a home, we want to take a look at if we need to wait for the decree to be finalized. We want to make sure that everything falls into place, because in essence, once a divorce is finalized, to get that final paperwork, you want to make sure you give yourself plenty of time for closing date, because in essence, we want to make sure that we have the final signed judge decree, because from there it's going to say who gets what by when, and also too, we need that specific information listed in there, so therefore we can kind of determine as far as what we can use for qualifying purposes.
Sure, and speaking of qualifying, there's going to be alimony and child support. Are those forms of income that I can use for my future home, or do they detract from my income if I'm paying those out?
It's a great question. If you're paying it out, then in essence, yes, we have to use that against you. As far as, if it's $200, $300, $400, whatever that amount is, and again, we're going to revert to what the decree states as far as for using that in your debt to income ratios. Now, if you're receiving it, here's the kicker. I can't use it unless you've been receiving it for the last 6 months, and we do need proof of that. And one little caveat to that too, we want to make sure that you're going to be receiving it for the next 3 years. So if your child's 15 years old and in essence they're going to be 18 soon, guess what? Chances are the maintenance might stop when they're turning 18. So we'll probably need a birth certificate to show as far as when that specific date will be, when that would fall off. Or are they going to go by the date of birth of the child, or are they going to go by the date as far as when that child will graduate from high school? So they're very, very specific on the dates. I do need a 3-year continuance of that income in order to use it for qualifying for a new house.
With all of these moving parts and all of these details, what is the first step that I should take?
Talk to the loan officer as far as this is my plan, this is what I want to do, and then also take a look at your budget. What are you going to have coming in? What debts do you have right now, and what debts are you going to incur after the divorce is finalized? Because at the end of the day, myself as a loan officer, we want to make sure that the house that you're going to get into or the house that you're going to stay into, that you can afford it. We want to know that ahead of time versus later.
If I'm in a divorce, can I just do a quick claim deed and get out of the loan, or move things around like that?
So a quick claim deed, all it does, it removes your name from title. It doesn't remove your name from the responsibility to pay, thus is the note. So when you purchase the house, there's 2 basic things that you sign, the mortgage and the note. The mortgage basically is held as security as far as who owns interest into the property. The note's the promise to pay. If you remove your name from the mortgage, such as via a quick claim deed, it only removes your interest. But you know what? You're still responsible to pay for the debt. In my thought process, that's kind of the worst position you can put yourself in, because you have no interest into that property if you do the quick claim deed, but you're still responsible to pay for it. Because a divorce decree doesn't separate you or release your responsibility from that note. So in order to release your responsibility from that note, one would have to refinance their name off of it.
That's really important information. And as far as refinancing, can the other party involved just refinance and get a bunch of money on the house without the other person knowing it?
Technically, whoever applies for that loan, they're going to take a look at income, credit, reserves, and they're also going to get an appraisal on the property to determine how much value is in it. Certain lenders have certain specifics as far as how much cash you can pull out of the property. In this case, it would be a private loan, meaning that in essence the other spouse wouldn't have any responsibility or have any knowing interest into it. So that would stay between myself and the customer. So then your ex-spouse would not have any knowledge as far as what you'd be doing with that loan.
Great information, and thank you for giving us so much information. This could be a really difficult time for someone, and you've really broken it down into easier, smaller steps so that it seems a little bit more manageable.
That's what we love to do as far as for educating our clients and making, again, the best use of their mortgage dollar and making sure that they know all the parts as far as what they need to do when they go through divorce.
Thank you very much for joining us again, Kris Wenninger, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's Missy Buttram with HomeWire Realty. Welcome to the neighborhood. Today we're with Gar Nelson at the Garcade. And thank you so much for having us here today.
You bet, thanks for coming out, we really appreciate it.
Tell me about this fun place. I just want to start playing some games.
It's really cool. We do something a little different. We do an all-day unlimited play option. So we have about 200 games on the floor. That includes pinball machines, driving games, shooting games, dance machine, guitar hero, air hockey, foosball. So there's plenty to do, a little bit for everybody. Yeah, it's a blast. It's $15 for adults, $12 for kids 9 and under. And you can literally come here, play for hours and hours. If you want to, you can come and go as you please. So if you want to go to lunch, come back, you're absolutely welcome to. And something that we really love to do.
So tell me, what inspired you to do this? What's the story?
You know, I have a background in electronic engineering. I wanted to be able to use my degree and do something with it. I was working in IT. I wasn't really doing a lot of electronics work. And so I decided that I wanted to try and find a hobby to keep myself busy, help get myself out of bars. I have kids, I have a family. I wanted to spend time with them. And so we found a couple of broken arcade games and I started teaching myself how to work on them. Next thing you know, my kids are going on road trips with me. We're going out, we're picking up broken games, we're fixing them up. We have a huge arcade in our basement, like 25 games. We had another 20 out in our garage. And it was a ton of fun. It was something that we absolutely loved doing. We would do all the family parties at the house, and we would do all of the holidays, and we would have Halloween parties for the kids, schoolmates. They would come out, and we would see people walk down into our basement. It was kind of a blind hallway. I mean, they got to the bottom of the basement, you'd see all the games, and people's faces would just light up. Their jaws would drop. And it was such a cool feeling for me to be able to see people do that and to be able to experience something that a lot of us remember from our youth. Which seems like there's a lot of those retro games from the 80s and 90s. It is, we're very retro oriented. I mean, we've got games like Pac-Man, Frogger, Donkey Kong, you name it, we probably got it. So we wanted to take that out commercial. Eventually I started a Facebook page and I started getting a lot of responses there, people asking periodically if they could come and check out our arcade. And as it turned out, I sat back one day with, very little job satisfaction at my real job. And I said, you know what, I think I can make a business of this. And so I went to my best friend and to my wife, and the three of us sat down and we worked out a business plan. And next thing you know, we opened the Garcade here with about 60 games. In the last 3.5 years, we have grown. We've almost tripled in size as far as the number of games. And it's something that we really love to do. This is kind of our passion.
That's great. So what, besides just coming in and playing, do you offer any other services?
We do. We do birthday parties, graduation parties, corporate events, private rentals for the arcade here during certain days of the week. So it's a great place for businesses to come out and do team building events. We do have party rooms available, so we can have food ordered in or catered in for an event if we really wanted to. It's kind of nice. It gives us a lot of flexibility.
So I have to ask, what is the most popular game right now?
Right now, probably the most popular game on our floor is our Guitar Hero. Something that's newer. It's newer into a lot of other arcades. And so for people to be able to come here, play that game, not have to keep sticking $1 or $2 into it each time to play, that's included with your unlimited wristband. So people are able to come in, play it several times, play other things along with it. We have a lot of really popular games here. I mean, having all the gun games here for the kids is a lot of fun. The kids love driving games. The adults love the pinball machines. We have pinball machines that range all the way from the early 1970s all the way up to current machines that are just coming out now. So there's lots to do here and something really for everybody. We have things here for people of all ages.
The Garcade here in Menomonee Falls, share with us and the viewers what the hours are so they can come on out.
Sure, the biggest thing is that we are closed on Mondays, but we're open Tuesday through Thursday from 3 p.m. till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m., and on Sundays from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. We recommend getting here early because those wristbands are good for the entire day, allow you to come and go as you please, so you can go to lunch and come back. So definitely take advantage of it, come out, spend a day, plan a day to come out with the kids and really have a good time.
Thank you so much for having us here.
You bet, glad you guys came out.
Great stuff. I'm going up to the Garcade this weekend because I want to play some pinball, and there's a few games there that I haven't played for years, so I can't wait to bring the kids and make a day of it. It's so inexpensive and it's a great way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Join us each week for the Offer Accepted Show, which is brought to you by HomeWire Realty. Missy and her team can help you get that home of your dreams, so be sure to give them a call. I appreciate you taking the time to join us this week, and we'll see you next weekend.